Do it.
All right, well, welcome. You're here joining us today for our first Anita B. South Florida webinar on staying relevant and exploring new skills. We have a full agenda for everyone today, so we're really excited to kind of get right into it. So let's get started and go ahead and just take a look at our agenda so everyone knows what we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to introduce the community leaders here for South Florida real quick with some opening remarks, and then we'll jump right into the presentation. We have 4 great presenters from the South Florida area and one person a little far away from Berlin, but all related either to Anita B or the South Florida community. So we're excited to go over all their good information. Just to give some ground rules, everyone's going to be on mute. And what we'll do is we'll have everyone put their questions in the Q&A area. So at the end of the presentation, I will go ahead and facilitate the questions to the presenters. That way we stay on track and we keep everyone on our hour schedule. So let's go ahead and get started and introduce ourselves. My name is Katie Gittleman. I'm one of the co-leads for the newly launched South Florida Community Chapter here in South Florida. I work at Nova Southeastern University in Davie, Florida. You can see my LinkedIn information and my Twitter, so you can go ahead and follow me. And along with me is my partner in crime and co-lead, Ruth.
Yes. Hello, everybody. We're super excited for you to be here with us today. We have amazing content to share, like Katie just mentioned. It's our first webinar together, so we're very excited to be here. I am an associate product manager and I work at Ultimate Software. You have my LinkedIn and my Twitter information, as so you have our access to our social media channels. Please follow us and we'll be in communication. So let me, sorry. So we have an amazing lineup of presenters today, and I will, we'll quickly go over each presenter. We have Jen Cassidy. She works at LinkedIn Learning, and she will be sharing with us statistics about the current market, remote opportunities, top new skills, and how to access free courses at LinkedIn Learning. Welcome, Jen. Thank you for being here. Ana Maria Benitez, she's one of the leaders of the Anita B. or Coding Study Group. This initiative was created to help anyone to learn how to code, and this program has many benefits, and she will be sharing more details during her presentation as well. Welcome. Wendy Alleman, she's here today to share her passion and knowledge in how easy it is to create a website using WordPress. She just recently created a website during COVID to help parents with resources and materials to help homeschooling their kids at home. So welcome, happy to have you. And last but not least, we have Wes Gruber. He works at Amazon Web Services and is here today to share with you his journey with AWS and to guide you where you can get access to free resources and where to apply for remote opportunities as well. Who knows, maybe you will have the opportunity to land a job in his team. So I'm excited to have you here today, and we're gonna start with Jen.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm very grateful to be here. Again, my name is Jen Cassidy. I'm a customer success manager at LinkedIn, and I'm focused specifically on supporting LinkedIn Learning. I work with Nova Southeastern University, and I'll be telling you, in addition to some other things, how you can get free access to LinkedIn Learning through Nova Southeastern's library. I've worked remotely from the Boston area for close to a decade, and my career has been focused on adult learners and helping them to reach their maximum potential. I also recently went back to school for a graduate certificate in mindfulness studies, and I love bringing together mindfulness and learning. So let's go to the next slide. And here's what we know about hiring right now. Hiring has been down across most of the world since the COVID-19 pandemic began. This is probably not a surprise to anyone. If you would like to dig a bit deeper into hiring trends, you can reference the blog post on this slide, which was put together by Karen Kimbrough, who is LinkedIn's chief economist. But if we go to the next slide, I want to share some good news with you. That's really what I would rather be doing. So I understand that many of you are looking for remote work, and remote jobs are having a moment right now. So what we're seeing across LinkedIn is that there's been a 28% increase in remote job postings, a 43% increase in the use of LinkedIn's remote job filter, and a 42% increase in job searches using remote or work from home. We have never seen anything like this before. That said, many of those jobs are for tech roles. So the top 3 most in-demand remote jobs in the US currently are full stack engineer, DevOps engineer, and software engineer. So that's good news for all of you. In addition, there's also many sales roles that are related to technology. If we go to the next slide, we can take a look at some key insights specific to South Florida. So what I'm highlighting here is data for Q1 of this year. So that includes January to March, which is a bit pre-COVID, just into the start of it. What we see in South Florida for new hires in software and IT services, the top skills include cloud computing, business strategy, JavaScript, business development, and software as a service. In addition, we have the top feeder industries. So what I mean by that is the industries where people are making a change and going into tech roles. So that's going to include media and communications, corporate services, finance, education, and recreation and travel. And then you see the top 10 fastest growing skills. So while we do see a lot of tech skills here, like SQL and Agile, what we're seeing at the top is things like communication, project management, leadership. Those are skills that are important across all fields, across all disciplines. This data comes from the LinkedIn Economic Graph Industry Report for Miami, Fort Lauderdale, specific to software and IT services, again, for Q1. So this is a report that we have access to quarterly. And so this is the most up-to-date data that I can share with you right now. Let's go to the next slide, please. If you are a job seeker, I would recommend that you follow the Get Hired newsletter on LinkedIn. It showcases organizations, many organizations that are hiring right now across the US. Now, many of the roles that are open are going to be in healthcare, food services, food delivery, as we might expect. However, I did pull a few nuggets here showcasing organizations who have open roles for remote tech jobs. So you do have the link here at the bottom of the slide to that Hiring Now newsletter. Let's go to the next slide, please. All right, so throughout this session, there's some great presenters who are going to be following me, and they're going to be sharing with you many resources that you have access to empower you to gain new skills. So LinkedIn Learning is one of those resources. You can access LinkedIn Learning for free through the library at Nova Southeastern University if you live, work, or go to school in Broward County. And so the instructions on this slide will guide you through the process of obtaining a library card if you don't already have one. We can move to the next slide, please. So when you get your access to LinkedIn Learning, if you go through the Nova Southeastern Library, you're going to have access to our entire library. So that's going to include over 15,000 courses focused on business, creative, and technology skills. You'll also find courses across 7 different languages. So that will include English, Spanish, French, German, Mandarin, Japanese, and Portuguese. On this slide, I'm showcasing the learning paths that I feel would be most relevant for you. So on the left, you're going to find learning paths that are aligned to the technical skills needed for some of those in-demand roles. So that's going to include things like becoming a full stack stack web developer, becoming a DevOps engineer, becoming a programmer, and becoming a cloud developer. On the right-hand side, you'll see learning paths that are aligned to more of the soft skills. So the Master in Demand Soft Skills learning path is based on LinkedIn data that showcases what skills hiring managers are looking for in people across all disciplines. Become a software project manager if you're looking to go that route, become a leader if you're looking to go that route. And if you are a job seeker, I did want to share the Finding a Job During Challenging Economic Times learning path. So these learning paths are curricula designed by the LinkedIn Learning content team to take the guesswork out of what course do I need to become this or do this. They are a commitment. They do include many hours of content, but I think once you get into them, they become quite addictive. I'm actually working through a different learning path on resilience right now, and it's been quite amazing. Okay, so I think we can go to the next slide. And I just want to thank you so much for your time and for your attention. I welcome you to connect with me on LinkedIn. Shoot me a little note, let me know where we met since I can't see you. And now I'm very excited to turn it over to Anna Maria, who's going to cover the opportunities available through Code with Anita B. So Anna Maria, over to you.
Thank you very much, Jen. Great presentation. Hi, everyone. I am the project lead of the online accountability study group called codewithanitab.org. My name is Ana. I am originally from Peru, and I am currently working as an Elixir software developer in a fintech company in Berlin, Germany. I am a career changer. I studied business and then switched to software development. And together with Natasha, who is a community leader from anitab.org, and me as a volunteer, we decided to launch the first pilot of this program in September 2019, last year, sorry. And it was really good. It was really good because the idea was basically to create an atmosphere where mentors can connect with mentees, people willing to learn how to code. And we offer 4 tracks. We offer JavaScript, Python, web responsive design, and AWS. What happened from the first track is that we had 10 graduates, people that successfully finished the program, and 4 of them got a JavaScript scholarship, Treehouse scholarship, in order that they can continue their studies. This cohort, the one that we are now launching, is going to start the 15th of May. Is for free, and it gives access to mentors. We have right now, we have around 76 mentors and around 135 participants. The application is still in progress, so please apply. And we are offering the following cohort for this time: Python, AWS, JavaScript, and Ruby. We are using free content material. For example, for Python, we are using Udemy. For AWS, we are using Coursera and also AWS training. For JavaScript, we are using free Codecamp. And for Ruby, there is a mix of materials, such as from Code Academy, Odin Project, from the book of Learn Ruby the Hard Way. And each of these tracks has a leader. For instance, the Python track has, the leader of the Python track is Vizcaya. She's a software engineer and she's based in India. She was one of the mentors for the first cohort. She really liked these projects, so she decided to be the leader for the next one, for this one coming. For AWS, it's going to be me. I'm really excited about that. For JavaScript is Ivone. She's based in Peru. She's also a career changer. She did our first cohort in JavaScript, and she's really excited to lead this one. Ruby is going to be Karen. She's from Spain. She's based in Berlin, and she's working as a Ruby developer in a language learning app here in Berlin. So the time frame for this cohort is going to be 12 weeks. It's a self-paced cohort. That's the reason why it's an accountability study group. But we, the leaders and the mentors, are going to be there in order to support you and motivate you and answer your questions. The methodology is the following. We're going to have weekly check-in progress based on a learning schedule calendar that is going to be provided to you by each leader. We're going to use Zoom calls, we're going to use Slack, and basically these two tools. We're going to have also online meetings because we think that it's really important, face-to-face communications, videos, but we are also going to use the Slack as our main online communication source. We are going to allocate mentors to just one track, and participants are going to be allocated to maximal 2 tracks. What is the goal? The goal is to learn a new programming language. The goal is to learn a new technology, to connect you with mentors, with people that are already working in the industry and want to give back to the community, want to develop these mentorship skills and also help you with some inside information, connection, etc. Because we really believe that if you want to break into tech, you need to have this kind of ecosystem. It's not mentorship is important, but also important is people that are willing to guide you with, for example, how to build a CV, how to prepare your portfolio, etc. We wish, and this is all, not we wish, this is one of the goals, to build a portfolio when possible, to show to future potential employers, and also, for example, if you would like to start working in web development as a freelancer, you can also have this portfolio to show to future clients. What is going to happen is, like, if you successfully finish the program, you're gonna get an online certification from the organization that you can use in social media, for instance, in LinkedIn. Everyone is going to get notified 1 week before the start. So you're going to get notified to which track are you going to go, and the correspondent leader is going to send you an email with your learning time schedule and learning material. After 12 weeks, the program will be finished, so the participant can will continue staying in the Slack, so in order that they can interact with mentors and within them. We have here, the 2 forums for participants and mentors. So please, if you want to learn to code, if you want to get a mentor, if you want to break into tech, fill out the form. And if you're a mentor, if you have some experience in development, software development, please, we also welcome you to participate and to interact with everyone in the platform. And if you have any questions, please reach to us to studygroup@communityanitaB.org. We are happy to help answering any question that you have, or just write us. We're really friendly. So basically it is everything. And the only thing that, based on our experience, what we really wish from the participants is commitment and willingness to learn, because those are 2 things that are going to really get you achieve your goals, break into tech. So that is everything from my side. Now I will introduce you to Wendy, who will teach you how to use WordPress plugins to create your own website.
Thank you, Anna. Hello, everyone. My name is Wendy Alema, and today I'm going to be speaking about how to use WordPress to create your own website and to showcase your work, business, personal brand without having to code. Moving to the next slide, I'll be talking about my experience with WordPress. I have been a software developer at Ultimate Software for about 4 years now. My journey on STEM started 8 years ago when I went to university to study math. Then I changed my career to computer science at FIU, and I graduated in 2018. I have been a math tutor since the beginning. First, as a way to support myself financially and through university, and then as a way to help my family, since I started to tutor my nieces and my nephew. When the first cases of COVID-19 started, I had to quarantine myself. I had lupus, an autoimmune disease, and we didn't know how to understand coronavirus could affect people with a weaker immune system. Since then, I have been away from my family, so I needed to find a way to feel useful to them, and especially to my nieces and nephew. They were getting bored and feeling the stress of having their reality change all of a sudden. So I went on an adventure on internet, trying to Google all the different websites, learning activities, books that I could find for them, having as a priority that they needed to be fun. Let me say the adventure took me hours of skimming recommendations, some true and some very far from reality. Then I put together a schedule for my nieces and for my nephew, and I decided that I could help other people, not just my sister, if I found a way to share it with everyone. Then I created Log and Fun. This is a website to help parents that, like my sister, they need to find resources to teach their children at home while having fun. I needed the website creation process to be simple. I needed it to be fast and easy to access. I wanted to help as soon as possible, and that's the reason why I decided to use WordPress. I learned how to use WordPress a few months ago in a project that is called 48 in 48 hours. During this event, in 48 hours, we created a website using WordPress without having previous knowledge. And yes, WordPress is so simple that in 48 hours, I was able to create a website for Casa Materna. And because WordPress is an all-in-one package, it includes domain and hosting. So no CSS and HTML required. You can use plugins, and these plugins can help you with marketing, search engines, and to have statistics about your website traffic. In the next slide, I know that I mentioned that WordPress offers domain. In order to have a website live, you will need domain. You will also need web pages and hosting. Domain is the address of your website that people have to type on the browser URL bar to visit your website. As an example, you can type google.com, that's a domain, also facebook.com or look and fun. In other words, if your website was a house, then the domain will be the address of the house. Then you also need to have pages on the website. You can build web pages using HTML, PHP, Java, on other programming languages, or you can actually use plugins and services that will help you without having to code. As an example is WordPress and the plugins that I'm going to be showing today. And last, we have hosting. A good way to think about what hosting is, I mentioned before that domain was the address of the house, then hosting will be the house itself. On the next slide, I will be mentioning themes and plugins. Themes are an excellent tool to help you with how your website is going to look. You can see that the same page or the same website will look very different depending on the themes that you select. Since they change behavior, they change color, fonts, they change all the user interface aspects of your website. Plugins can help you create, they can also help you manage and analyze your content. As an example, you have plugins such as Colibri or Beaver. They help you design a page using drag and drop and point and click without having to use code. I will show now how to create a simple About Me page using a plugin called Colibri. In this video, you can see that I'm creating a page. What I like about WordPress is that in order to create a page, it's as simple as just clicking add a new page. You will here we have different themes to select from on the left. But since I'm using a plugin, it's easier to create using a blank slate. These themes can help you with just one click create pages also contact me, pages to create your portfolio. In this case, I'm going to be creating the About Me page because this is one of the simplest ones that I can show how easy it is to create content. This plugin that I'm using is called Colibri, and it has a free version and a paid version. In order to create my website, I was able to do it just fine by using the free version because I just wanted to have content and to show different learning sites, activities. Here you can see that Colibri allows you to add different blocks and different elements to your page by just dragging. As an example, here you have image and you have text, and I have headers that I want to add. In order to add an image or the text, it's as simple as adding and writing into Google Sheets or Google Doc. Adding text to it will be typing, dragging, copying, and an image is you have a library of images that you can select to display on your website. Something really good about this plugin is that if you need to create content fast, it allows you to use blocks. Blocks are already designed, and you can select the ones that are appropriate for your content, and they will have already the style. In my case, I'm a software developer. I didn't have a lot of experience with design, and I wanted my page to look good, but also be accessible. And something that is great about the plugins on WordPress is that you also have the ability to control how people from a website, from searching from a tablet or any other device like a phone, will see your website. You can see that on the bottom of the page, you have different devices. I will be showing next how you can see it from a tablet. And something good is that it allows you to change independently. What I change on the website look would not affect the tablet. That way you can control different sizes of the screen. On the next slide, I'll be explaining what plugins are. You can see that there are some examples of plugins that you can use for translation of your website, search engines, and the statistics of your website. The ones that I display in purple are the ones that I use to create my website look and fun. I decided to use Translate Press because it's very simple to and allows you to translate the strings or the text by just selecting it and then deciding the language that you want to translate it to. Just even the free version of this plugin allows you to have full control of how search engines and social media posts will see your web pages. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. It's a way to get more traffic to your website. By ranking high in Google, you will attract more people to your site and just allows you to customize the key phrases that search engines use to find your website. Some examples of statistics that the plugins would allow you to control are how many visitors your pages have, how many views, the pages that people visit the most, and the clicks to links on the pages. These statistics allow you not only to mold and update your website based on the content, but also allow you to have in mind your audience and what are their needs, and this will be helpful to have a better website traffic. On the next slide, I'll be showing a video of how to translate your website in a few steps. The plugin that I'm using, once again, is Translate Press. This plugin is also free, and one great thing about this plugin is that it's very simple to use. You have a section where you select the languages that you want your website to be displayed on, and then you have how how visitors to your page will be able to translate. Here I selected that I wanted a menu option, and I also wanted a bottom option to be displayed so that people will also be able to translate when they are on the bottom of the page. The reason that I'm very insistent on translating my website is because I also wanted parents that only speak Spanish to be able to teach their children at home. Basically, half of my family only speaks Spanish, and I wanted them to be able to understand and know what are they given to my nieces and nephews, and in cases of other people, to their children. You can see that in order here to translate, you don't have to code, you don't have to understand the back end of everything that is happening. Basically, you select the text and you will see the main language, in this case is English, and then you will just select how that sentence or that text will translate to the language that you are translating at that moment. This is how it will look once the people are navigating to your website. They will be able to select on the top the language or on the bottom. The reason that I have the bottom option also is because I discovered that 80% of the people that were using my website were actually using a mobile phone, and the menu on the top is not visible from a mobile phone. On the next slide, I put together some resources that I found to be really helpful on my journey to learn WordPress in a matter of weeks because I had a limited amount of time. And I hope that these resources will also guide you to create your own portfolio, your business website, or your personal brand. And I want to thank Anita B Southwest chapter for this opportunity to share my experience with WordPress. And feel free to contact me at any moment. And I pass it now to Wes with Amazon Web Services.
I guess I better kick it off and start my video. Good afternoon. My name is Wes Groover, and I am a training delivery manager here at Amazon Web Services. And what does that mean? Well, it's really, my job is to manage a team of trainers that go around the country and teach our enterprise customers how to choose and use Amazon web products. Now, first of all, clarification of what we do. A lot of folks confuse us with Amazon.com. We do all work for Amazon. I'm an Amazon employee. However, I do not know where your package is. Our group is, we're kind of the folks behind the folks that make Amazon.com go. Turns out we also have a million other customers in the cloud that you might have heard of. You might have heard of companies like, I don't know, Netflix, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, the ESPN, BBC, pretty much everybody who's doing any large scale digital broadcasting like Disney Plus are all hosted on AWS. So we are the cloud, we're the folks that make the cloud go. In order to do that, we're using cutting edge technology, and our job is to help our customers better understand the cloud-based products and services that we have, from everything from hosting services with for servers, for storage, for online storage, cloud storage, database services. We've got tons of products in that space. So we help skill up our customers to do that. My background is, but more than 20 years in IT. I work for several South Florida-based companies here. We also service a lot of customers here in the area. We've got customers here in South Florida, including Ultimate Software, JM Family. You might have heard of Citrix over here, which has offices in Fort Lauderdale. Quite a few South Florida customers are using our AWS Cloud product services. Let's do the next slide. So what is it we do? What we're really trying to do is skill up customers, or skill up our people, help you. So a big part of that is really, helping organizations which really need individuals for cloud skills, and we want to help them transform their business. Right now, as earlier that Jen had mentioned when she kicked this off, there's a huge gap in the skills market out there. We call it this cloud skills gap. Not many people have cloud skills, and they're super, super in demand. If you want to have fun, go out right now and do a little Google search for the following phrase: highest paid IT certification. And you'll find that the AWS cloud certifications, our solutions architect and our certified developer, are at the very top of some of the highest paid certifications in the industry. So we're certainly in demand. And what we do here at AWS Training and Certification is we really help folks build those skills at an individual level and an organizational level, and then also validate those skills, to prove that you know what you're talking about. So you can kind of get more out of the cloud and really keep your cloud skills fresh. Does that make sense? Let's do our next slide really quick. So we've got a ton of opportunities here, not only in South Florida remotely, but I want to talk about the resources that we have to help you skill up. Some of these are the AWS Restart. That's a program that's just kicked off. It started with our offices in London and has come over to New York, Philadelphia, and other large cities. It's really for people who are early in their career and really want to do a career changer. I know that Ana Maria and Jen both talked about how they've done career changes, where you've done a shift, hey, I went to college for this, but now I want to be something else. I want to reskill myself. And that's what that Restart program is to do. It helps kickstart people's careers and who want to do career changing. Our Tech U program is really focused on younger learners who are just coming right out of college. Maybe haven't had a job yet. They're new college graduates, or they just had maybe one job. They're early in the career. And what we do is we help skill them up. It's an intensive program. We hire them on, we bring them in, and we put them through an intensive 6-month skills program so we can get them to actually work here as either trainers on my team or solutions architects or in our professional services team. And we also have a ton of other opportunities out there. You can pull the slide. We've got opportunities in digital training. We've got opportunities for online digital training. I'll send some links up in a minute here where you can go to our AWS Jet training site. We've got a ton of digital courses that are free, covering every learning path and pipeline down the line. We've also are offering a lot of free seminars right now for exam preparation, helping you prepare to take these exams. We've also got free online seminars for things like our cloud practitioner skills, and really we call them like AWS skills days or summits as well. As far as like a personal note, right now my team is hiring, and a lot of the opportunities that we have are remote. Of course, with all this coronavirus is going on, everything's remote right now. So all the trainers on my team are working remote. Now, what we do when things get back to normal, and hopefully they will be here not too long in the future, we do have opportunities for lots of travel. So if you like travel, definitely reach out. I have more than 50 job openings on my team across the U.S. right now in North America, and most of those roles are remote. There's a link there to a tech trainer role where I'm the hiring manager, and that's what we got going on. I'm going to turn it over to Wendy, I think, is going to fill it up.
No, that's me.
Nope.
Thank
Sorry,
you, Wes.
Ruth. Sorry.
No worries.
I apologize. Sorry, Ruth.
Oh, good.
By the way, I
No
want to
worries.
thank you for inviting me to come out and talk. This has been a really cool opportunity. I've learned a lot about what's going on in South Florida and what the opportunities are in the cloud. And I really want to thank you for inviting me out. But take it away.
No, thank you for being here and sharing all this amazing content with our community, right?
You got it.
So I just want to now talk to our community. You have received so much valuable content, information, resources. It really is up to you to take full advantage and benefit from this amazing content today. You know, there is going to be some action on your part to do some little bit more homework and research and really go a little bit more deep. What are the things that you want to prioritize and take full advantage of during this time? Remember, right? Knowledge is power. So keep that in mind. In order to learn a new skill, you need to be committed. But there's a lot of benefits that come along with it. So in addition to what we have with our presenter, which everyone, the four of them were amazing, I wanted to make sure that I bring you to your, you know, so you know, we actually built a library in the next 4 slides for you to access. There's going to be tons of links, and this deck will be shared with you. Everybody that registered to attend this webinar, we will have this presentation and access to the video as well. But, you know, take full advantage. Companies like Google has, you know, community groups like Women Tech Makers or GDG, which stands for Google Developers Groups, that are very active here in South Florida. And there's tons of, you know, free training resources. Take advantage of what is available with them as well. Just to mention a few technical communities outside Anita B, we have General Assembly, South Florida IT Events, PMI South Florida, Code for Fort Lauderdale, and, you know, even Lenora Potter, she has, she's part of the Black Women in Product Design. So there's tons of great content that you can access, and you can really get your feet wet on, you know, to prioritize what type of skills you want to put under your belt, new skills. And then the next 2 slides is a combination of technical and not technical resources that you can access as well. As we have mentioned, the Broward County Library, Pluralsight, right, Harvard University, and some other for soft skills as well, Skillshare. I mean, language is another great skill to have, you know, and it has shown, especially in South Florida. So take advantage of this opportunity. Music, if you are, you know, you need something that, who knows, maybe you can change your path and go into the music industry. Is technology and you know, and has so many intersections. And then, you know, you have sometimes to be creative, to think outside the box, to see how that particular passion or area of interest can link into technology. So more resources here for LinkedIn Learning. If you're not, you know, part of the Broward community, or that you want to get some free resources, these are some of the links available. And something else to mention, even though it's not a skill tool, is Candor had actually posted a live website where they're you know, letting us know which companies are hiring. So take a look at that as well if you're looking for an opportunity. And with that, I'm just going to quickly wrap it up. I just want to welcome you to our South Florida community chapter. We recently, you know, were launched, and we haven't had the opportunity to really get together and to get to know us more. But I think this webinar is a great introduction to how we can assist our community and how can we help you. Because this content came after a survey that we actually, you know, shared with our community, and this was the top topic of interest. Anyway, so if you want to reach out to us, please feel free to send us an email. We actually are in Mobilize. That's similar to Slack, is the tool that we use to collaborate and to have more interactive discussions with our members. So please join us and follow us, right? We have these 3 hashtags: South Florida Anita B, Women in Tech South Florida, Anita B Community, where we're very active, and you will see some of our previous events there. So follow us and, you know, show us some love. And I just want to close with this. Stay home, stay safe, and stay curious. And now we're going to pass it into the Q&A questions. So Katie, back to you. Katie, maybe you need to unmute.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Thank you, Ruth. We're gonna hop right into the Q&A, but before we do that, if T could launch the poll, we have one quick question we want to kind of ask everyone just to get some feedback on today's webinar. So when you get a minute, go ahead and just fill that out for us. But in the meantime, I'm gonna hop right into the questions. So the first question I had was, is there any advice for someone out of work and that has no experience using online learning, advanced SQL and Python skills, and would love a job in data engineering? So I think a couple of you might be able to give some feedback on this. Does anyone want to take that question?
I mentioned in the chat that I know that Anna has this amazing opportunity with mentors, and definitely if you're interested in learning Python and have people helping you and guiding you the way, I believe depending of how you learn, it will be easier than having just an online course, because that interaction and that feedback on your questions is amazing. But if you want to learn a little bit faster than me, I know that some web learning sites are now free, like Pluralsight. They are offering all their courses for free, and I definitely recommend it. I myself have learned many languages using Pluralsight, so it's an amazing opportunity for you to use now.
I would like to add something additional. Like Wendy mentioned, we are offering a Python track. Actually, Python is a really user-friendly programming language. It's really good to start with it because it's easier to learn it. And in the Python track, we're going to have mentors. Actually, it's that track that has the most mentors available to teach, to answer questions, to do pair programming with the participants. So I have the learning schedule of the Python leader. For example, there are going to be weekly challenge, there are going to be daily quizzes, there are going to be demos, like live demos using Zoom for the first 2 sections. We're going to use the Udemy free Python core and advanced course. And they're going to be like a final project. People are going to be a virtual assistant with the help of mentors. So definitely I would recommend it. The Python track in the last cohort was the most popular one. There were more people doing it and enjoying it. So yeah, definitely please fill out the form if you're interested to learn Python. And besides that, most of the mentors are data engineers, data scientists, and they have a lot of experience in the field.
Thank you, Anna.
Awesome. Anyone else have any other advice, Wes?
Yeah, I would add to that. I posted a link there to the AWS training site. We've got free digital training on a lot of different database technologies. We don't go into like specific languages, but the caller had asked about, being a data scientist or getting into that side of things. And we definitely have courses around that at the introductory level that are free, that you can go out there and just understand how, databases work in the cloud and how you can leverage that as well. That's all I got.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, the next question we had, this is for Jen. For those interested in LinkedIn Learning but do not meet the recs for the free classes through living or working or going to school in Broward County, can you share any information on pricing?
Sure, yeah, and I'll put a link into the chat so you can see what those options are. For individual memberships, for 1 month, you can do a free trial for a month, and then it's $29.99 a month. Annually, if you pay up front, it's $19.99 a month. That said, if you are employed, I would encourage you to check with your employer. Many employers do offer LinkedIn Learning as a benefit, so check with your HR or learning and development team. If not, I'd also encourage you to check with your local library. A lot of local libraries do offer it. And then you can do the individual membership, as I mentioned, or LinkedIn Learning also does come with some of the flavors of LinkedIn Premium. So if you are a job seeker, you might want to look into LinkedIn Premium.
Awesome. And Craig, one of our attendees, just mentioned that he believes Miami-Dade County Libraries and Broward County Libraries also offer access. So definitely check out the local libraries and see what they have to offer regarding LinkedIn Learning. It used to be called lynda.com. It's now transferred over to LinkedIn Learning. So if you see either of those, they're basically the same platform. All right, our next question. Let's see. I think I have one more in here. Oh, two more. Thank you for the content. This is from Diana. Any advice for creating communities for businesses? Any tool or app recommended for this time? Anyone want to share any advice? Ruth?
For businesses, maybe if she can open up her mic, it may be more, if you can give us a little bit more.
I wanted to understand a little bit more about the question, because it would be good to know if you're talking about how to market your business, how to create a community around your own business,
Right.
and if you want kind of like tools to help you create some marketing. Or
Sure. T, can we open up her mic? Let me see.
Sure. Which panelist or which?
Diana Marana.
Say it again.
Diana Maranta, M-O-R-A-N-T-E.
Diana Morante.
Her mic should now be open.
Okay. Hi, Diana.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for sharing the content. It's great. My question is related to, we are going to create new initiatives to connect with customers at this time and create a relevant content. And I would like to know if you have any suggestion for apps or tools, technology tools that we can use to connect with customers at this time of COVID.
So I guess I think every company, depending on where you work, right, have at least this is I don't work with the marketing tool, but internally, for example, at Ultimate Software, the marketing team maintains the communications that we create into our websites, like a side page to share how COVID had impacted our industry or our community. But it really depends on what infrastructure your company has already invested on, I will say. So I don't know if that helps much.
When I started with Look and Fun, one of the experiences that I have is that I wanted to have feedback from the people that were using the site. And that was actually something that I had to learn how to reach and how to actually establish a conversation. First will be know your customers, know what they use and what they will feel comfortable using. But some of the great options will be having a website allows you to have an email subscription letter that will allow you to have like week to week reach out to your customers week to week. But also it's interesting how social media allows you that opportunity. I have seen many businesses and customers using groups, Facebook groups, to reach and talk between each other. So I will definitely recommend for your business, depending on what it is, to create a group and talk and have information for them available through social media and Facebook groups, I will say.
Yeah. Oh, even Google Sites have been created to kind of share some of content, some updates with the communities. Hopefully that helps.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much for the response.
All right, Katie.
We have another question from Camila. Hey there, I currently work in the digital customer experience / project management with a background in marketing. I'm currently struggling to figure out the next step in my career in technology. So are you talking, Camila, how to move into technology? Maybe we can get her mic access to T. Okay.
Camila, is that correct?
So, yeah, Camila. Yeah, she was asking like, how is the next step to move into a career in technology from her experience as a customer experience and project management with a
Last name D?
Yeah, yes.
I'll
Camila,
take that.
you're available to talk. Your mic is open.
Yes,
I see the mic. Thank you. But yes, sorry, I didn't send. I'm kind of working and then listening at the same time, so I apologize.
No problem.
Yeah, so pretty much a lot of my background is in marketing, and then with the role I have right now, it's in digital customer experience. So I control a lot of like our applications at work, as well as like our online customer portal, constantly evaluating like NPS and kind of just building out projects and technology based on what our evolving customer needs. So now that I'm in this, and it's kind of marketing, but now it's more into like project management, I'm kind of reevaluating what my next step should be. And, you know, if I should pursue going into like tech and doing something a little bit more code, or kind of just keep pursuing like a type of project management role. So kind of just wanted some advice from you guys.
Yeah, I'll take that one. What I would suggest is, I mean, it really comes down to what you're interested in. You know, most of us are successful in life in doing things that we're, you know, intensely interested in. I wouldn't suggest anybody go out and try to learn coding if it's not something you really and truly enjoy, right? Because it's tedious. I started out as a developer, and after actually many years of doing that, I kind of moved away. I found other interests that really excited me, whether it was infrastructure development or doing training of others. But if you really want to make a career move, I'd go out and maybe try some stuff, you know, just, you know, the old try before you buy. Go take an online course at, you know, a lot of the resources that folks have shared, and just, you know, invest a few hours and see if you like it. Is it something that's, you know, fascinating and interesting to you? You'll do well at it. You'll excel. I'd also just put in a shameless plug for certification. In our modern world, a lot of certifications have different values, and you really have to kind of sort that out. But any of the cloud-based or cloud-based certifications have extraordinary value today. That being said, you know, in every industry, experience counts more than a certification. But the issue with cloud skills today is that nobody really has years of experience. I've been in the cloud space for about 7 years, but I'm as old and crusty as you can possibly be in this industry, right? If you find a person who has 10 years cloud skills experience, those two people still work for Amazon. There's nobody who's been doing it that long. It just hasn't been around that long, right? So at the end of the day, how do we validate new people in the industry? You know, the certifications help. They help get you that interview. They help get you get that foot in the door, and then after that, you can let your personality shine and your own body of work speak for itself. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, and honestly, something else to keep in mind is having this community, right? South Florida Anita B community is an opportunity for you to interact and meet women that has been going through similar career shifts, right? To explore new areas or areas of interest. So I welcome you to really become more active, right? So that way you can have the opportunity to have much more meaningful conversations, go more in depth, and what are the pros, what are the cons, you know, what would you experience in your career, you know, have that type of conversations that it can help you and guide you to you know, make decisions of what you see yourself doing in the future.
Can I say something here, perhaps? Sure. A little advice, because I'm also a career changer. I was working in the hospitality management, and now I'm working as a backend developer in the fintech system industry in Berlin. And I have to say that definitely you must have a curiosity to try new things. So I will go into another direction and say, perhaps you can just give it a try. Start with a course, try something small. You never know. You never know if you're going to like it if you're not exposed. And this is not just by coding, exposed to people that are developing, other women or men that are career changers that went into another industry, etc. I think this is going to be really valuable. And like Ruth mentioned, being part of communities, start talking and start developing this interest is going to bring you really far. And I have to say, when I started, I thought, no, I want to do front end because I'm much more visual. I want to start in this. But then the circumstances switched that I had to go into the back end, and I love it. Really, it's amazing what you can discover and use with technology. So definitely giving a try, being curious, and connect with people.
Thank you.
Awesome. I have the same advice from Ruth. I would agree, just to really start connecting with your local community and leveraging those relationships to give you a little bit of insight into what the opportunities are and what they actually look like.
Yeah, Same here. Use the opportunity that networking and communities like this one offer, because it will save you time in the long end. I know that technology and our field has so many different type of jobs, and going to the right one since the beginning will save you a lot of time. Use that and like ask different people with different backgrounds and different works, and find what do you want your day to be like. In my case, I'm a tester. I know that here we have developers, so we have different backgrounds already here. So feel free to ask us what we do daily, and we will be more than glad to help you out.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate the advice and the input.
Awesome. You're welcome. So we don't have any more questions.
No more questions?
No more questions.
Do we want to open the mics if anybody wants to just maybe raise their hand? I don't know, before we close the session.
T, can we do that? And I will mention we are recording this session, and as Ruth mentioned, we'll be sharing all the slides from today to all the registrants that attended or weren't able to join us, but they'll all be there. And on the last slide Ruth had, she talked about Mobilize. Ruth, can you bring that back up?
Sure.
You'll see the QR code. If you want to connect with us while we have you online here now, you can go ahead and with most updated iPhones, you could just take a picture of the QR code and that'll take you right to Mobilize, which is the platform that Anita B is using now to connect the communities. It's a great way for us to kind of communicate with everyone, and you'll see all the upcoming events that we're working on and planning to roll out to everyone here in South Florida.
And everyone has the ability to talk. Their mics are open.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, T.
So to all the participants, if you want to say anything else before we close the session, we have 3 more minutes. Please feel free. We're here.
Are there a planned calendar of events for the rest of this year?
No, officially. Officially we got the approval for this chapter in March, right? Due to the pandemic, we decided to help the community in providing this webinar. Right now, we're really targeting to have maybe a webinar, for some time, once a month. That's the cadence that we're trying to commit to. Potentially the next one will be towards the survey results that we have collected through to the initial call that we did to the community. And then we actually started to collect and learn more about the volunteers and Mobilize. We have an area where members are, saying, hey, we would like to be more active. We want to become volunteers. And for those folks, we actually going to open up a survey where they can come back with proposals of topics, of things that they would like to present to the community, and then help them host those webinars through the Anita B tool. So Katie and I will be leading that, but that's how we were, planning for now until the end of the year.
Thank you.
Katie, you want to say anything else?
No, Ruth pretty much covered it. I will mention the topic. The next topic was mental wellness and physical wellness during these times. So we're putting together some speakers and some content for that also for late May. Yeah, it was mental wellness and physical, and how to try to navigate during this time your personal life and your work. For all audiences, right? So for single people, for parents that are how now to homeschool kids at home, and so on. So yes, that's going to be this next event that will be. We're already partnering with some amazing, people in our community that are being very active on that end, and trying to come up with the best content we can for that next topic. All right. Okay, we are at 1:30. I think we need to close it out. So maybe Katie or T, do you want to share the results of the poll? All right, good. That's awesome. So 79% the participants thought that this content was really helpful, which is great. We want to try to have this type of feedback as we move on to learn more of how can we help the community. That's what we're here for. And we want to thank you
for being part of our first session today. And we're really excited to be here and to collaborate, to learn from each other, and to be able to help each other out, right, with different things that will help our community, but our economy as well. We're trying to keep the talent in South Florida, right? We should have tons of opportunities, even now with the remote work, to keep it here. And that's one of the goals that we have with this chapter as well. So Katie, I'll pass it to you. If you wanna maybe mention a couple more things.
Yeah, I just wanna thank everyone for joining us. We're super excited, like Ruth said, to continue connecting with the South Florida community. Please, please, please join us on Mobilize. We'd love to get your feedback. It's kind of like a chat feature option also. So if you have any questions, you can connect with Ruth and I via that. Also LinkedIn, as we mentioned earlier. And that's all I got. Happy Friday to everyone.
And thank you to all our amazing presenters. I mean, the content that you put together for today's presentation was invaluable for this community. And I hope everybody takes full advantage of it, right? But thank you for putting the time and volunteering your time here with us today.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right, we're good. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.